Well, joining us now to give us firsthand his experience is a survivor of COVID-19 in Lagos, and he is Mr. Kazeem Adedeji. Thank you so much for joining us at this time. First, tell us, how do you feel now after all that you've gone through?
Yeah, I feel great. I feel great now.
Now, tell us, at what point did you suspect that you were positive?
Basically, I don't really have no symptoms of whatsoever. I returned from a trip, which I've been to multiple countries, and then I just felt, let me just go have a test done. Based on, I have my wife in the house, kids, and some other members of my domestic workers. So I went ahead and carried out a private test done from NIMA, which I was told about a day after I said I was positive. And so on hearing that, I felt really down. I know it wasn't a death sentence or whatsoever, so I just flow with it. And I was asked to go to what's it called, to Yaba, which I just got discharged from, and that was it.
To imagine how you felt, but tell us about the isolation center. How were you treated there? How many people attended to you in the ward?
To be honest with you, at a point, I don't want to believe I'm in Nigeria. Seriously, I do want to believe I'm in Nigeria. It was, no, there's no place you can compare with your home, but regardless, the doctors, they did a very great job. Doctors did a great job, the nurses as well, and in fact, the domestic workers, everybody was so supportive and being, nice, and, I think it's a very good thing. I'll say well done to the federal government and to the Lagos state government. It's really a good place.
So, Mr. Adedeji, you're saying the health workers were very friendly. Also, you're really one of the lucky ones. Many people are also wondering how you were treated and what you were treated with.
In regards to what I've been treated with, I'm not into medical lines, so I wouldn't really know. But at a point, I asked, because the pills we were given was kind of massive and a lot, because we had to take some numbers, because I've got diabetics anyway. So, and at a point, what I was being given is a bit more than what they're giving some other people around me. So, and but to be honest, I knew we were giving antiviral and giving some antibiotics and vitamin C and some other medication which I don't even know. I tried to ask, but that wasn't my priority at that point. I just want to get well and be out of the place because got family to attend to.
Indeed. Tell us perhaps your advice to some of the people who feel that, this is still a hoax, people who are refraining from social distancing and some of the restrictions that are in place. What would you be telling them right now?
To be honest with you, in fact, coming live on this TV, I think it's one of the greatest things that will soften my heart or that will make me feel good. I just want people out there to know that this thing is real. It's not joking. It's not joking. I was one of the luckiest patients in there because my case wasn't as crazy as some other people who passed away or people who were like some horrible things you seen a grown-up man doing that you go feel sorry for them. Seriously. Can you imagine someone want to go to the toilet and before getting into the toilet had to put himself, a grown-up man. you know, all I'm just going to pass on to people out there is stay indoor. Staying indoor temporarily is better than staying down feet below forever. So stay indoor. This thing is real and it's not joking. It's real. It's real and it's not joking. So people have to stay indoor. That's my advice, and that's all I have to say to people. Stay indoor. That's it.
So finally, if you were to think of this as maybe writing a book or a story, what would you say? From when you found out you were positive to where you were kept and treated to where you are now. Talk us through that.
Anyway, let me put it this way. As I talk to you now, my wife is still in there, and my mother-in-law is still in there. So, if I'm to write a book, I think I'm gonna have I don't know how many pages I will be writing, but it's I don't know. I really don't know where to start from. But to be honest, it's not something I want anyone to experience. You can imagine in my situation, I had nobody to look after my 2 kids except my maid that was lucky to be negative. At the same time, my 2 kids that were lucky to be negatives. So, and you can imagine what it is for me, the father, not be in with the kids, the mother not be in, the grandmother that can easily be interested as well not being in. So we were left with no choice other than the maid that we've only hired about 2 months ago. But luckily for us, she was negative. At the same time, she was being helpful. You know, no one is going to accept my kids. No one is going to look after them. They're going to be scared. Like, the parents has got coronavirus, they probably have as well. So that alone weighs me down. My wife cries every day. And my mother-in-law was disturbed. I have to just stand like a man. I was really worried within myself, but I just have to pretend like everything is okay. But it wasn't some kind of experience I would want someone to go through, to be honest.
No, you said that you were asymptomatic and you had traveled to some of the high-risk countries. But if you were to give advice as to some of the symptoms people should look out for and call the necessary numbers, what would you say the symptoms are?
As for me, I don't really have no much symptoms. I only have headache. And that headache, I would say, I just thought it was normal, but because of what is going on presently in the world about coronavirus, and I've just returned from New York to London, and from London to Paris, Paris to Nigeria. So it was like, no, let me just go do something. So I went for the test, and I wasn't having no symptoms. I only had tiny body ache, which wasn't much at all. But I just want to have peace of mind that, look, this is not what is dealing with me. I don't want to be dealing with malaria. Why? I've got coronavirus. You get it? I don't want to be dealing with headache. Why? What I had to deal with is actually more than headache. So I just went ahead and have the test done privately, you know. So in terms of the symptoms, I think when we were at the center, different people were saying different things. You know, some were saying they had, what's it called? Some were saying they were throwing up. Some were saying they lost smell, they lost taste. And some were saying headache, tiredness, and different ways. I've got a friend in London that said he just gets tired every time. You know, he can't smell, he can't feel no taste, he can't smell, he can't feel anything on his tongue, and he lost his taste, and he's always tired. So different people with different things. For example, my wife, she was just coughing, and it wasn't like dry cough. Then she was getting some itching on her throat, and that was all. No tiredness, no nothing, nothing from the general symptoms that they used to say. She doesn't even have dry cough.
Okay. Perhaps a final question, briefly. Have you faced any stigma? We're told that The Lagos State government has appealed to Nigerians not to stigmatize and to accept all who have recovered. But have you in any way faced any of that since your return?
Yeah, I've actually just been out. I've actually just been out 2 days ago, and on my way coming back home, because I drove myself down. As I'm gonna have to breathe. I'm gonna have to breathe to that side, because that side needs to be looked into through the Lagos State government. I'm gonna come back to that in a minute. But basically, on my way coming in, I met someone that used to do something for me on my way. So I told him, look here, I've always been telling you this thing is real. Can you believe I've just been discharged this and that? And she had to run away. You know? Then I had to call him back and be like, what's going on with you? You don't have to run for me. I'm good now. And, you know, but I think, you know, I might have a bit of, you know, things to deal with. But I'll be all right. I can deal with it. I'll be all right.
Really must appreciate you, Mr. Kazeem Adedeji, a survivor of COVID-19, for sharing your experience with us here. Thank you.